That's right. All 6. I really don't know what I would do without Paul Carr, actually.
I don't think a lot of people know what they would do without Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at first half highlights and then break down a little bit more of the legal battle with U.S. Soccer and the wage discrimination complaint that has been filed by 5 of the high-profile U.S. women's national team players, including Carly Lloyd and Alex Morgan. Becky Sauerbrunn on the ball now, part of that filing. Laser-like pass there from Mewis. Klingenberg. Pugh has shown up in the middle. He has been buzzing about everywhere. It's still the U.S. Crystal Dunn there, besieged by yellow jerseys. And it's Johnston now. Ball drops, Carly Lloyd! Reaction save par excellence from Catalina Perez on Carly Lloyd Day here in Chester, Pennsylvania.
What a great reaction save this is by Perez, because Carly Lloyd hits this well. She gets a hold of that one, lets it drop perfectly. That was on frame. Nice save. You can see no post players for Colombia. A lot of gaps here on the corners for the United States.
And it comes towards the penalty spot. The header punched away from Perez acrobatically. She has come up with 2 wonderful saves. Played at the University of Miami. That has helped to keep this at 2-0. And with that sparkling save, Julie, the first half comes to an end. Your thoughts?
And she keeps Colombia in this game. How big are those 2 saves? The difference of 2 to 4-0 going in at halftime, and they think they still have a chance.
Yeah, great point. We'll take a break. We'll come back to Chester, Pennsylvania after this. The United States, a 2-0 halftime lead over Colombia. Game on here in the second half. We welcome you back to Talon Energy Stadium in Chester, Pennsylvania. Second meeting in 5 days. Catalina Perez coming up with 2 very big saves to keep Colombia in this, who are down 2-0 to the United States, who get goals from Press and Johnston. Glenn Davis alongside Julie Fowey, third member of our team, from Mexican international Monica Gonzalez. Mallory Pugh in full flight here. Carly Lloyd will hit one over the top. U.S. gunning here to start the second half.
Carly Lloyd thinking, what do I have to do today to get one on frame? And spoke to her yesterday. She has 150 friends and family in the audience in the stadium today. She says, I've learned long ago I don't deal with tickets anymore. My cousin's taking care of that. It's a good cousin right there.
Colombia will get the throw. Carly Lloyd, again, from the area, played at Rutgers University. Delran, New Jersey. So it is a homecoming. Number 1 player in the world. Took an awkward deflection. It'll be a corner here for Colombia. First of the game for them. Just to remind you of how dominant the territorial advantage has been. Basically, the game's been played in the Colombia defensive third of the field.
And a good little test for Nair. Only had 1 touch that I can think of.
Short one from Colombia. They'll square it back into the box. It's headed away. And Mallory Pugh, with ice in her veins, just takes it out wide and knocks it towards the halfway line to clear the lines. 17-year-old going to turn 18 on April 29th. Arbaleas. No changes for the U.S. Moran got in there and won the header. That's led to this. Is Pugh going to get there? He can absolutely fly. Sweeping tackle going to ground there. Having to come out of the middle was Arias, the 30-year-old, appearing today for the 54th time for Colombia. Moran now. Mewis. Ball went into press. Ball came out quickly from press. Lloyd, Horan. Johnston switches a point of attack here.
And the U.S. still playing with Heath pushed high, pressed pushed high.
U.S. dropping to allow Sauerbrunn now join in the attack. Here is Heath, Crystal Dunn. Tobin Heath is down on the far side of the field.
This is the right back for the United States. Catching one on the foot. Looks like she got it on the knee as well. Good to see she's out.
And Tobin Heath was very ebullient yesterday. Said, I'm being given more responsibility. I'm thriving off the confidence, and it's almost as if some shackles have been lifted from her.
And when you look at the versatility of what she's been bringing as well, she said, I'm just happy that I can provide a lot of different options for the team.
Rare is the player that can just fit in different positions and feel very comfortable about it. Mallory Pugh keeps this alive. Here's Klingenberg now. Klingenberg goes down. He's going to get a free kick. Tobin Heath is going to come across to take it.
To your point earlier, Glenn, about how teams are going to bunker in like this at the Olympics. They're going to play the United States like this. It's a good thing for them to learn. It's a good thing for them to get comfortable with those outside backs and finding themselves often in attacking positions. And Klingenberg and Heath, two of the best attacking players on the field, coming from that outside back position.
Jill Ellis saying a real focus on an organized attack now and getting into the final third are real priorities that this U.S. women's national team version is working on now. Heath to take the set piece. You wonder if she's looking for that space in and behind these two in the wall. She'll clip it there. And again, it's Johnston. This time defended better by Colombia.
This time they decided they were going to track Julie Johnston. I think they heard about Paul Karstad.
Samantha Mewis. Today appearing for the 10th time for the U.S. is one of those players that's competing to go to the Olympics. Crystal Dunn is peeled off. She'll get her head up, left-footed cross from Dunn. The header is blocked. Lindsey Horan trying to get on the end of that delivery.
And this is Velasquez who's going to step to her. Dunn making a nice run to get in behind. Defending. Looks like she took one right to the chest.
Horan has been another breath of fresh air to this U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, we didn't even list her in the young players earlier. You're right.
That excellent performances, a very refined player. Bypassed the college game to play at PSG in France. Here's Heath now. She'll swing it wide. Sauerbrunn in an offside position. To the third member of our team, Monica Gonzalez, who spoke to U.S. coach Jill Ellis.
Well, Glenn, Jill didn't love the way that the team played in the first half. She told them they need to take better care of the ball. You can see them working the ball around more carefully before they make that final entry pass, and she wants them to win it back sooner after they lose the ball. I asked her who we could expect for subs, and as of the beginning of the half, she was planning on putting Allie Long in a little bit, and perhaps Whitney Ingen. Both of them warming up right now. Guys?
Thank you, Monica. Good insight there from Monica with U.S. manager Jill Ellis. Nice little touch. Dunn was trying to line up the left foot. She gets fouled just outside the box. It's free kick time now and a yellow card. What was that?
This is where Crystal Dunn is just so good about finding her little gaps of space. Colombia gets a high elbow in there at the end. If you just step in and get that, but she's coming in high. Watch here. At the end, lifting it. How you even complain about that, I'm not sure, Glenn. You can see that elbow raised up. It's one thing to come in with a shoulder, and a whole other when you're lifting it.
Now this is going to be, you would imagine, all about Carly Lloyd here.
And Carly Lloyd has had 3 really good looks today.
Big day for her. Family and friends here. This place would explode if she were to score here. Here's Lloyd. Tries to bend it. Wall does its job. Sidewinding volley hit over the top, but it'll be a goal kick, Colombia.
Sometimes when you maybe overthink that a little bit too much, trying to put a little bit too much bend on it, you got to get some pace on it as well.
And we spoke to her about all the appearances she's had to make. She's had to sort of get refueled. She says she's finally feeling a little bit better here, but her life has been a whirlwind after that World Cup.
Craziness. She said it didn't hit her, the fatigue, until January, when she all of a sudden said, okay, I need a break for a little bit.
And of course, Carly Lloyd standing next to Lionel Messi, winning the Ballon d'Or, symbolizing the world's #1 female soccer player. Messi winning it on the men's side, and she's a big fan of Lionel Messi. Broken up by Mewis. Big minutes for her of the Western New York Flash. Grew up in Weymouth, Massachusetts. And as we look at Carly Lloyd. Lobbed over the top. Sauerbrunn with some pressing play from Colombia. They win it back. Their spirit remains. Las Cafeteras bending but not breaking here in the second half. All right, Colombia's going to earn a free kick now. Horan called for the foul.
The other opportunity Colombia had to actually test Alyssa Nair was the corner kick, and they ended up going short. If you have scouted this U.S. team, you're Colombia, you would think you're going to get this keeper a chance to actually touch the ball here early on.
Catalina Usme now. Curls it way over the top.
That's not the way to do it.
And that is wasted by Colombia. Look at Carly Lloyd. And Carly Lloyd's personal trainer, James Galanis, the rare opportunity to see her live, Julie.
Yeah, he has talked so much about what he has done to her game in terms of just defining different phases of her training and goals.
Tobin Heath trying to turn the corner, and she's going to earn a free kick.
And you know, sometimes in life you need that person that's saying you're good enough to be the best in the world. You're good enough to be the best on the U.S. team. And Carly, when I sat down with her yesterday, talked a lot about having the confidence to actually accept that and say it out loud. And the dividends that have come from his style of training and what he's done.
Heath might have helped sell that free kick. She's going to stand over it. Box is loaded up for the U.S. Lots of movement in front of Perez. It's swung in. She got a fist of fury to it. It's still loose and cleared by Colombia. '60th minute. Still the United States with a 2-0 lead. Heath has stood up. It's been a real battle of finding space here today for her. There's nothing behind Colombia because they're not conceding anything. Tobin Heath of the Portland Thorns. Whitney Engen is set to come on for the U.S. for Becky Sauerbrunn. Sauerbrunn has logged a ton of minutes. Engen comes in earning her 35th cap now.
USA's second substitution now leaving the match, number 20, Lindsey Horan.
Lindsey Horan will come off. Ali Long will come on. Long scoring twice on Wednesday against Colombia. Long picking up her 6th cap. Klingenberg out and Kelly O'Hara on. Off the set piece, ball still loose and cleared by Colombia. Pugh went down.
This is when the fact that Colombia hadn't played a friendly since July of 2015 coming into this series is going to factor in. You got 30 minutes left in this game. And they're trying to conserve by dropping into that low bunker. But to Jill Ellis's point at halftime, the U.S. is going to start pressing when they lose the ball. They're clearly sending numbers. Outside backs playing like forwards.
Are there areas today that you think the U.S. could have been better? Could they have been a little bit patient and tried to draw them out more? Have they killed each other's space off, Julie? Or are there areas where
well, they had
playing
a little
against
bit
a
more
deeper
space.
defending team?
They had a little bit more space in that first half and had a lot of really good looks. 3 that really should have been finished away. So if anything, I would say finish your chances better in that first half. They were creating the looks. And now you're seeing that Colombia, when they go into that lower bunker, it starts getting the U.S. team a little bit more stagnant.
They've broken it this time. O'Hara can't find the final ball. She had Crystal Dunn, but the U.S. broke that line beautifully that time. Lloyd. She's fouled. There'll be another free kick for the U.S. The captain going to ground. 24 goals in her last 23 matches for Carly Lloyd. And of course, top goal scorer the last 2 years for the U.S., trying to do something unprecedented. If she were to be the top goal scorer here in 2016 for the U.S., she will have done something nobody's ever done. Here's Colombia on the counter. Great work back defensively from Tobin Heath. Mallory Pugh is called for the foul there. Looked
Pugh coming in just a little clumsy on that one.
U.S. has added a game against Japan on June 2nd, which sold out in 10 minutes. Game to be played in Denver. Rematch of the World Cup final, which essentially was over in 16 minutes in Canada.
You love to see the excitement this team is generating.
Dunn is exhibiting some excitement here. It's Heath now showing up on the left side. Allie Long. Beautifully measured pass out wide. O'Hara. She goes down. It'll be another free kick for the United States.
And here's one of the elements that Kelly O'Hara does, because we've seen that she can also attack like one of the best in the world. She proved it in college. She's proved it at the pro level. And this is an outside back, and that's the element she brings, is an attacking outside back that's very comfortable on the ball.
Plays for Sky Blue in the NWSL, played at Stanford. O'Hara today appearing for her 78th time. She was a forward at Stanford and has obviously got those attacking instincts. Heath to deliver. Lloyd squares it. Ball still loose, shooting opportunity. What a save, Perez! Absolutely robbing the United States of a third goal.
Two at the end of the first half. This one here, Perez coming up so big for Colombia to give them a chance in this game. Miss clear that the United States tries to pounce on, and a good reaction save again from Perez.
And Tobin Heath this time trying to come around the outside of the ball. Mishit it. It'll be a goal kick to Colombia. Hey, don't forget, coming up next, catch Major League Soccer Sunday presented by Audi here on ESPN at 4 Eastern. Clint Dempsey warming up down in Houston at BBVA Compass Stadium. 27 goals in 59 games for the Seattle Sounders. The Deuce is back in Texas. Him and Jordan Morris and the Sounders live from Houston against the Dynamo. Match also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. So it's Seattle and Ziggy Schmidt against the Houston Dynamo and Owen Coyle. Good friends Taylor Twellman and Adrian Healy with the call. Squared into the box, all the way through now. Ewis with a good ball. Lloyd went up. Got a good run at it. Couldn't steer it on target, Julie.
One of the things we talked about with that holding midfield position, Ewis and Ali Long both in there playing in a deeper role, is that's an area Jill Ellis is targeted as a place that she needs more depth on this Olympic roster. Morgan Bryan not even here. She went home to rest the hamstring nagging injury she's had. So those two fighting for one of those last few roster spots at the Olympics.
You get the sense that the changes she made here in the second half with Ali Long coming on, Kelly O'Hara, these are changes of players that are on the bubble.
Well,
Without mincing words.
Kelly O'Hara, I don't think is on the bubble. I think she's in.
Done. Shot is collected.
But yeah, this is a chance for her to look at Ali alongside Ewis together. And you know, Ali Long is an interesting story because we've seen her at the professional level at the NWSL, but a lot of people don't know that she, in the off season, has been playing in this underground ethnic league, all men. She said, I'm the only white girl. I'm the only girl. I'm the only white person out there. They call me La Blanquita and La Gringa. And she said, I needed to get better with my speed of play. This is what's doing it for me.
Now the Pugh. Back and defenders in. Still Pugh. Yeah, that's interesting because Jill Ellis was telling us yesterday, then in the case of Mallory Pugh, they want her when she goes back to training playing with a lot of the boys' teams, but as a youth, she wasn't played up much. The U.S. break it down. Kelly O'Hara. Recovery from Colombia. Santos making a big play there for the Colombians.
And O'Hara having success again with breaking down that bunker a little bit, getting free on the flank. But you can see when they get in that box and try and serve it across, it's a crowded box in there.
Well, the big star today, without a doubt, is Catalina Perez in goal for Colombia. She's come up with 3 sparkling saves here to keep Colombia within 2 of the United States. Spinning out of there, Lacey Santos, still Santos. And pulled wide. One of the better attacks, though. Some good combination play and build-up from Colombia. Let's go back to Catalina Perez. A great day of goalkeeping for the 21-year-old.
And this is the one that really, point blank, Carly Lloyd just rips this. And Perez with the reaction save to get a hand on it. Again, at the end of the first half to keep Colombia still alive at 2. And then this one we just saw earlier. Another reaction save, poor clear by Colombia. And she keeps them in the game there.
Boy, Julie, that last one through a maze of bodies cited that.
And it's so hard to see that with the traffic in front of you, as we know.
Remember, Catalina Perez was in goal for Colombia in the round of 16 against the United States. Was not scored upon by the U.S., but got sent off. And that's when Colombia went to 10 players. More changes for the U.S. Carly Lloyd getting a huge round of applause here in Chester. So the World Player of the Year goes about 72 minutes here today on the banks of the Delaware.
She went a full 90 in that 7-0 Wednesday night win, so I can see her coming out. Jill trying to monitor those minutes a little bit.
The very talented Ali Krieger comes on for the 87th time for the United States.
Hey Glenn, I think we figured out the secret to Perez's success and goal. This is what she was doing in the first half to stay warm. Just firing out some push-ups.
Keeping herself into this.
I love it.
It's a great story.
Burpees in the back.
Again, she's only 21. She plays at the University of Miami. And this is only her 7th appearance for the Colombia national team. Johnston back to Alyssa Nair. Chicago Red Stars in the NWSL. Nair also played 2 years in Germany at Turbine Potsdam. You think of all the differing ways the women have gone about forging out professional careers. Some going straight to Europe, like Horan. Just finding places to get competition, Julie.
Yeah, a lot of them, that wasn't an option back in the day for a lot of countries to go play in. You had, obviously, our league here. Before our league, you had Sweden, but it's nice to see that there are so many options now. And, of course, so many of them want to see this league successful. They're all playing back here now.
The differing paths to get into the professional game. Pugh. Skating past player, shot it wide. How quick she can flit in and out of space. Gets a left-footed shot off, but again, she is a thrilling player to watch.
And we just haven't seen a lot of situations where Pugh can turn and have the actual space to show what she can do. There's a glimpse of it there.
O'Hara pulls it wide. Back to that play with Pugh. That was operating from a very central area, and we had spoken earlier about her being the future number 10.
And this is the seam she's familiar with in that number 10, in between midfielders, forwards, and back lines, being able to turn. She said that the biggest challenge for me is when I play out wide is just understanding defensively my connection with that outside back, because I'm so used to being in a more central position. I'm learning all of that, what that relationship is like.
She is a penetrator for sure, and here she is again. So they've got her in a more central role now, with Carly Lloyd being brought off the field.
And it looks like they've almost switched to a 4-3-3 with 3 central. You have your Heath playing up high on the left, Kristen Press on the right, Dunn in the middle as your 3 forwards. O'Hara switched out to that left outside back position with Krieger coming in on the right. And this is something Jill Ellis again has said. We want to play with scenarios, play with formations. What could we switch into?
Well, Colombia remain in it in the 77th minute. Pugh tried to sweep a touch into space. The pressing play helps win it back. O'Hara now. Done. Good penetrating balls. Their first time cross here. There's a foul. It'll be a free kick U.S. Brought down was Ali Krieger out of Penn State.
And in this bunker, it comes as no surprise. The people with the most space are those outside backs getting forward.
Ali Krieger spent some time playing in Sweden. Such a big part of the U.S. World Cup win in Canada. Tobin Heath, the box loaded up here for the United States. 78th minute. Towards the near post, the flick on is there. It's Julie Johnston again. It's a double for her. She'll get it here in the 79th minute. It's 3-0. The damage done off the set piece.
There he is. I knew we'd get a shot of Zach Ertz in the stands there. Philadelphia Eagles tight end, her fiance. How great for her to get 2 goals. And another one, not surprising, on a set piece. And for Colombia, it's almost as if, who do you pick up? You can see Johnston fighting to get into that position. And just needs a hair in front of her defender. So dangerous. All 7 of her international goals have come just like that, on set pieces.
She's only 23 years of age, was the captain of the Under-20 World Cup winners back in 2012. Johnston, 23 years of age, and has become the primary target on set pieces. Heath. Crystal Dunn continuing to work.
And this will be interesting to see how Colombia responds, because that 3rd goal is a killer after you've been defending like you have.
Heath left it. It's O'Hara. Allie Long. Pulled her shot wide. Made good space for herself. Just didn't make the good contact.
And look what Julie does just to get into this position. She's fighting to get forward. Just gets a little bit in front of her defender. And again, for Colombia, there's Zach Ertz, the Philadelphia Eagles tight end.
And he does his work just down the road here.
If you're Colombia, you're looking around going, who do I... There's so many targets I have to pick up. All of those in the box for the United States are great on set pieces.
Well, and let's also compliment the delivery of Tobin Heath, because she's provided differing delivery. Clipped one into space off a set piece and then drove that one a little bit. And Colombia just, so much has been siphoned out of their legs with the defensive effort today.
Going back to Zach Ertz, Glenn, let's not fail to mention he's a Stanford boy.
There's a lot of Stanford in and around here today.
It's world domination.
Usman knocks it into the box. A little bit of confusion. Off her line is Nair, who has had little to do here today. But distributes to O'Hara. Heath. Tobin Heath, press, checks to the ball. Heath will help it on. It's Mewis now. He's got players out wide and holds it up. Julie Johnston. Shot over the top. That one had a bit of jump in it.
Mewis known not to be afraid to let one fly from outside. And she got a hold of that one good.
Let's not forget the coverage of the UEFA European Championships 2016. It begins June 10th on ESPN. 2014 FIFA World Cup champions Germany and Thomas Müller headlining the 24-field team from France. It'll feature Great stars like Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The match is also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Euro 2016 beginning June 10th on ESPN. 84th minute right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. The U.S. with a 3-0 lead over Colombia. Glenn Davis alongside Julie Foudy and Monica Gonzalez.
Really, the U.S. only, when you start spinning forward to August, they only have 4 friendlies left. 2 against Japan, 1 that's been announced in early June. And then 2 friendlies in July. And then really it's league play. So assessment opportunities are a rare thing for Jill Ellis outside of league play.
Well, she said she's going to have a real sharp eye on everything going on in the NWSL as well.
And I think the real challenge will be, how do you, and this is why no one has ever won a Women's World Cup and followed it up, I think, with an Olympic gold medal, is because the tight turnaround, and it's exhausting with all the things that come with winning a World Cup and the wonderful publicity and the media and the victory tour for the women. How do you get a mental and physical break in there?
Press.
Not to mention all the off-the-field distractions, which we've been talking about all game as well.
Colombia now, this is Ospina. She'll lose possession.
It's the exact opposite problem of Colombia. They're trying to get games, and the U.S. is like, how can we steal a couple-week break in here?
Well, and Jill Ellis saying that has been the biggest challenge, is to try and keep people fresh. And will be the big challenge ahead of the Olympics. 12 teams in Rio.
And then the thing I go back to with Colombia, Glenn, is you have success for the first time at a World Cup. You get out of the round. There's enthusiasm in your country for this sport. And then you don't play at all from July until now. Almost a full year, knowing that your team is competing in the Olympics in 4 months' time. It's just baffling to me that they can't tap into that market, because there's so much upside to it.
Krieger drives it in towards the near post. He's trying to pick out Kristen Press. No, that was a venomous piece of delivery from Ali Krieger.
Colombia substitution now leaving the match.
Well, in the U.S. victory tour celebration, that's a lot of additional games for the U.S. women.
Yeah, I think you have that combination of emotion of you're so excited to play in front of your fans and thank them, but you also think, gosh, it would be sure nice to have December off maybe.
And Julie, this is interesting here. Ureli Rincon, who arguably is Colombia's most creative player, only making her way into the game here in the final minutes for Colombia.
And to Monica Gonzalez's earlier reporting and point that a lot of these players, as told by the Colombian coach, are being punished for misbehavior, for actually talking out about the discrimination happening at their federation. And Ureli Rincon, not surprisingly, is one of those players that has been a little bit more vocal about it.
Let's go down to Monica Gonzalez, who has more on that.
Glenn, well, during the 2014 NWSL preseason, Carly Lloyd called her personal trainer, James Galanis, and said, there's a Colombian here. She's crafty. I'm totally connecting with her. That was Ureli Rincon. She ended up not making the team, and Carly Lloyd had Ureli Rincon go down, and James Galanis let Ureli Rincon live with her. Taught her how to train like a professional, eat, sleep, take her on endurance runs, wanted to fix her head. And he's here today in the stands watching Carly for the first time in 2 years, but he's also watching Ureli Rincon for the first time ever.
Thank you, Monica. Rincon's only 22 years of age, comes on for her 51st appearance, and then plays in Norway.
We talked about at halftime about players around the world having the courage to step up and find their voice, but you're also still seeing there's too many retributions for doing such. and penalties.
Crystal Dunn now. And it goes out for a goal kick for Colombia. Head over to ESPNW.com for all the latest in women's sports. This week, Graham Hayes' profile on Ali Long's chances of making that final roster for the Rio Olympics. Full interview with Carly Lloyd and Becky Sauerbrunn, and UConn's Brianna Stewart is named the nation's top players. Lots of great information over there with Graham Hayes. And Ali Long certainly didn't hurt her chances picking up a pair of goals on Wednesday. How much do you factor in the competition side of it, Julie, into these decisions for coaches?
How much do you factor in the what side of it?
The competition side of it.
In terms of who they're playing?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think you'd love more She Believes Cups where you're playing the best in the world, but that's not going to be the reality. But you also got a great few months ahead with what the professional league does, with best players in the world, consistently great games.
Mallory Pugh with a left-footed cross towards Dunn. Turned that ball in beautifully. Long entry ball towards the top of the box. It was knocked away from Kristen Press. Here is Crystal Dunn. Has she just grown in your eyes with all these games she's gotten? She just seems to get better and better.
Oh yeah, and I think again to that versatility point, she can play any line. She's most comfortable, and you've seen her find great success at the professional level with her Washington Spirit team, winning the MVP of the entire league last year at that forward position. But I love to see the transformation in confidence, and that she took the negative of not making the team and said, all right, it's not, oh, why not, why me? It was, all right, I'm going to get better, and I'm going to prove that I deserve to be on that team.
$15 goals for Crystal Dunn in the NWSL in 20 games. And as Julie mentioned, she was the MVP and Golden Boot winner. Gisela Cuesta will come on for Colombia. 3 minutes of stoppage time added here. Well, we have to be complimentary to Colombia because they have battled, Julie. They haven't lost their battling spirit here. Pugh, Tobin Heath, save again from Perez. He was put on a goalkeeping exhibition today for Colombia.
Pugh having success coming out of that number 10 seam. On the dribble, pulling in defenders. She attracts two and then just dishes off of that. And Perez saving the day for Colombia again. Cutting down the angle, making it hard for Heath. That's one I think Heath should put away, though.
Cuesta knocks it back. Arbeláez tried to go forward. Here's Heath again. Got Press in front of her. Bends it. Press. There's an empty net. Trying to get some support, and it's Perez again into her grateful hands. Will Julie begin to wrap this one up today here and give us some of your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I think they'll be pleased, of course, with the 2 wins. I think the fact that Jill got a good look at a lot of different players. They had to play different scenarios. They're finishing in a different system, in a 3 front. I think there's a lot of positives. And the fact that given all of the distractions off the field right now, that this team has continued to perform at the level they have without missing a beat, it seems, is quite remarkable. That they've been able to separate and compartmentalize as well as they have.
Well, that'll do it here in Chester, Pennsylvania. The United States 3-0 winners over Colombia. It is a big day for the U.S. women, getting goals from Kristen Press and a pair from Julie Johnston in front of a wonderful pro-U.S. crowd here in Chester, Pennsylvania. The U.S. women will continue to prepare for the Olympics in Rio. Coming up next, it's Major League Soccer action. We take you down to Houston, Texas. The Houston Dynamo hosting the Seattle Sounders. For Monica Gonzalez, Julie Foudy, I'm Glenn Davis. Thanks for joining us. Our final score, the U.S. Women's National Team 3-0 winners over Colombia. Let's now send you to Houston for the MLS Soccer Sunday Game of the Week.